Samsung's premium smartphone strategy is in flux. Between its ever-expanding foldable phone portfolio and obscenely spec'd devices under the Ultra branding, it's easy to forget about the Galaxy Note family and in particular 2020's standard Note model, the Galaxy Note 20. 2019 marked the first year where Samsung offered two Note series phones at the same time. Rather than settle into a pattern, the South Korean giant has switched things up again in 2020. We've already reviewed the Note 20 Ultra, a monstrous phone with a monstrous price tag, which usurped the short-lived Note Plus line. But where does that leave the non-Ultra model, the Galaxy Note 20? The Galaxy Note 10 changed the identity of the vanilla Note lineage, offering what some considered to be a watered-down take on the Note formula. However, if the Note 10 was a confusing smartphone, the Galaxy Note 20 is an outright confounding one. Design, pane in the glass. Number 1 Gorilla Glass 5, front, plastic, rear. Number 2 IP68 certified. Number 3 161.6 by 75.2 by 8.3 mm. Number 4 192 grams. Face on, the Galaxy Note 20 looks unmistakably like a Galaxy Note phone. Instead of continuing the Note 10's shrunken take on Samsung's phablet formula, the Note 20 is a big boy. Not Note 20 Ultra big, not even Galaxy S20 Plus big, but still taller than, say, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It also sports the Note series rectangular style and, of course, a pop-out S Pen stylus. The front glass melds effortlessly into the metal frame. The hardware buttons, a standard power key and volume rocker, are firm yet tactile, and every time you remove or dock the S Pen there's a subtle vibration which is a nice reminder of the phone's perfectly measured haptics. The Galaxy Note 20 oozes the kind of finesse and delicate attention to detail that you'd expect from the world's most successful smartphone maker. 2019 marked the first year where Samsung offered two Note series phones at the same time. Rather than settle into a pattern, the South Korean giant has switched things up again in 2020. We've already reviewed the Note 20 Ultra, a monstrous phone with a monstrous price tag, which usurped the short-lived Note Plus line. But where does that leave the non-Ultra model, the Galaxy Note 20? The Galaxy Note 10 changed the identity of the vanilla Note lineage, offering what some considered to be a watered-down take on the Note formula. However, if the Note 10 was a confusing smartphone, the Galaxy Note 20 is an outright confounding one. This is Android Authority's Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review. About this Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review, we tested a UK version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20, Exynos equipped, over a period of 2 weeks. It was running Android 10 with Samsung's One UI 2.5. It received one minor software update during this time containing the September security patch and minor bug fixes. Samsung did not supply a review unit. Android Authority purchased the Galaxy Note 20 for the purpose of this review. Design, pane in the glass Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review S Pen writing credit, Oliver Cra, Android Authority Gorilla Glass 5, front, plastic, rear, IP68 certified 161.6 by 75.2 by 8.3 mm 192 grams face on. The Galaxy Note 20 looks unmistakably like a Galaxy Note phone. Instead of continuing the Note 10's shrunken take on Samsung's phablet formula, the Note 20 is a big boy. Not Note 20 Ultra big, not even Galaxy S20 Plus big, but still taller than, say, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. See also, Samsung Galaxy Note series, a history of innovation. It also sports the Note series rectangular style and, of course, a pop-out S Pen stylus. The front glass melds effortlessly into the metal frame. The hardware buttons, a standard power key and volume rocker, are firm yet tactile, and every time you remove or dock the S Pen there's a subtle vibration which is a nice reminder of the phone's perfectly measured haptics. The Galaxy Note 20 oozes the kind of finesse and delicate attention to detail that you'd expect from the world's most successful smartphone maker. And then you turn the phone around. Rather than the ubiquitous glass sandwich build, the Note 20 opts for a rear casing with a brushed-like feel that Samsung calls Glastic. We've seen this material on a handful of mid-tier Galaxy A series phones. It looks like plastic and it feels like plastic. If you tap it, it sounds like plastic, and if you press on it, it compresses like plastic. Why? Because it is plastic. Samsung can dress it up through fancy marketing, but there's no way to obfuscate the fact that this is a $1,000 phone that's almost 50% plastic on the outside. That's not to say there aren't some advantages to plastic over glass. Plastic doesn't attract a smorgasbord of smudges and fingerprint smears. Scratches are more common, but nowhere near as problematic as cracked glass. It also means the Note 20 is fairly light, just 192 grams compared to the Note 20 Ultra's 208 grams. The front glass also gets a downgrade from the all-new Gorilla Glass Victus found on the Note 20 Ultra. Instead, the vanilla model uses Gorilla Glass 5 to cover the display. That's the kind of trade-off some may be prepared to make for a $300 price reduction. But when every other part of the Note 20's design screams premium and you're trading blows with other immaculate $1,000 devices, the unsatisfying feeling of plastic on your palm, itself exacerbated by the faux frosted texture, acts as a constant reminder that Samsung cut a huge corner that's very hard to justify on a flagship phone. Sadly, the head-scratching design decisions don't stop there. Like the Galaxy Note 10 before it, the Galaxy Note 20 doesn't offer expandable storage. However, what's more puzzling is a seemingly innocuous change from the Note 10 series. The S Pen and bottom firing speaker are now on the left side of the base of the phone. The S Pen placement is fine, the speaker location is not. When playing a game or watching a movie, my palm always covered the grill. You can still hear what's going on because there's a top speaker in the earpiece, but you can kiss stereo audio goodbye. The speakers themselves offer limited depth and bass, but are clear and can get quite loud without distorting. The Galaxy Note 20 is by no means a poorly designed phone. In fact, it's arguably better than the Note 20 Ultra from a pure ergonomics standpoint, as that almighty camera bump isn't anywhere near as chunky. Yet, while the quality standards are broadly excellent, that plastic back represents a trend that defines the Note 20, not quite premium for a premium price. Display. Solid, not fluid. 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Infinity O Full HD Plus HDR10 plus 20:9 aspect ratio. Samsung has an incredible pedigree for smartphone displays, and that level of quality is maintained for the Galaxy Note 20's 6.7-inch AMOLED panel. Mostly. Peak brightness hit a respectable 640 nits in our testing. This tallied with my experience of solid outdoor visibility, but I found it lacking in direct bright sunlight. The display trends towards warmer temperatures and colors pop with that quintessential high contrast look you find in a top-end Samsung phone. There are also options to adjust RGB or the white balance to your liking, in addition to a blue filter, adaptive brightness, and plenty more toggles and tweaks in the settings menu. The overall caliber is impeccable then, but sadly there are compromises here too. The least impactful concession is the 1080p maximum resolution. It'd be fair to expect Quad HD in this price bracket, but even on a display this size it's hard to tell the difference unless you actively look for one. In fact, if you're really into tech and you're using a modern Samsung flagship, you've probably set your phone to 1080p to take advantage of the higher refresh rate, and there's the rub. The Galaxy Note 20 is a 60Hz panel. For a phone ostensibly designed for power users, this is a shocking omission that makes navigation on the Note 20 feel sluggish. Other Samsung phones ask for a trade-off, lower resolution for a faster refresh rate, up to as much as 120 Hz. The Note 20 is the worst of both worlds. This is especially frustrating as the Note 20's display has a few points in its favor over the Note 20 Ultra. The screen is flat, which should delight curved display haters. I didn't experience any accidental touches, and the phone retains features like the handy edge panel despite the lack of curvature. Plus, what bezels there are remain razor thin, though the punch hole cutout is oddly a little larger on the Note 20 compared to the Note 20 Ultra. Otherwise, the front-facing camera is identical, so I'm not sure what the reason is for this. There's also an in-display fingerprint reader of the ultrasonic variety. It's quite slow, taking 1-2 seconds to register my fingerprint, though generally this comes at the benefit of greater accuracy compared to an optical reader. I definitely found this to be the case. The Note 20 almost always unlocked first time. Overall, the Note 20 has a big and beautiful screen that is only undermined by its refresh rate. 60 Hz/Full HD on a flagship phone in 2020? That's poor form. Battery life, acceptable. 4,300 mAh battery. 25 watts wired USB power delivery. 15 watts wireless charging. 4.5 watts reverse charging. There was a time when the Note series was renowned for industry-leading battery life. Those days are long gone. In my time with the Galaxy Note 20, I was regularly hitting the end of the day with 25% left in the tank and an average of 6-7 hours screen on time. This was based on relatively standard usage. Some Twitter here, a quick 10-minute PUBG mobile game there, plus checking emails, Slack, and other daily tasks for work and play. I'd call the results solid, but unspectacular. Under stress, the Galaxy Note 20 begins to falter. Our Rocky test, which repeatedly runs speed test G until on a loop, managed to take the phone from a full charge to 0 in 3 hours and 22 minutes. This is well below the top battery performers of 2020, and it'd be fair to expect more from a phone with a 60 Hz, 1080p display and a reasonably sized 4,300 mAh cell. Power management on Exynos SoCS is notorious for being subpar, so this may explain the average results considering the specs. On a positive note, there are plenty of power management options available, including Samsung's own adaptive power saving mode in addition to Android 10's app management feature. As for charging the phone, the Galaxy Note 20 averaged out at 70 minutes to hit maximum charge from flat when using the 25 watts USB power delivery brick that ships with the phone. It also supports 15 watts wireless charging and Samsung's 4.5 watts wireless power share technology for reverse charging accessories. These aren't the fastest speeds in the market by any means, but it at least offers parity with the Note 20 Ultra. Camera. Notably good. 12MP OIS wide-angle dual-pixel PTAF, f/1.8, 1.8 micrometers, 64MP OIS telephoto PTAF, f/2.0, 0.8 micrometers, hybrid optical 3x zoom. 12MP ultra-wide. f/2.2, 1.4 micrometers, 120 degree off. Front. 10MP dual pixel PTAF, f/2.2, 1.22 micrometers, video. 8K at 24 fps in 16:9, 4K at 60 fps. Samsung typically reserves its best camera tech for the Galaxy S series, and that remains true for the Galaxy Note 20. Nevertheless, the Note 20 is no slouch in the photography stakes and, in the right conditions, can deliver spectacular results. The Galaxy Note 20 features a triple camera on the rear with a 12MP main sensor, a 12MP ultra-wide camera, and a 64MP telephoto camera that supports up to 3x hybrid optical zoom. If you're familiar with the Note 20 Ultra, then the drop from Samsung's top-tier 108MP primary shooter to a modest 12MP camera will be the big takeaway. In daylight, the Galaxy Note 20 produces the kind of crunchy, contrast-heavy images Samsung phone cameras are known for. Do you like your snaps to look Instagram ready? Then you'll love the saturated look of images taken with the Note 20's main camera. This works especially well outdoors where blue skies and green fields threaten to burst out of the frame. The Auto HDR does a lot of heavy lifting in landscape scenes, white balance is fairly consistent throughout, and the dynamic range is solid, though detail falls off a little if you crop in. The Note 20 lacks the laser autofocus found on the Note 20 Ultra, but the dual pixel phase detection does the job just fine. The praise continues for low light performance. The dedicated night mode takes a while to process images but is capable of transforming dimly lit shots into almost daylight-like photos. The shots of the cat statue above were taken at 8 p.m. as the evening drew in with light coming from a nearby window. Even the regular shooting mode retains plenty of detail and manages to keep noise to a minimum. Software. One of a kind. Android 10. One UI 2.5. 3 years of updates, patches. The Galaxy Note 20 runs Android 10 out of the box with Samsung's custom One UI skin on top. The latter is instantly recognizable and among the more unique skins available, or at least it was before OnePlus heavily One UI-inspired Oxygen OS redesign. The Galaxy Note 20 runs Android 10 out of the box with Samsung's custom One UI skin on top. The latter is instantly recognizable and among the more unique skins available, or at least it was before OnePlus heavily One UI-inspired Oxygen OS redesign. Like the Note itself, everything is big, bold, and quintessentially Samsung. App icons are huge by default, while the notification bar and quick settings engulf the screen. The settings menu isn't afraid to fill the display with white space, or black space if you have dark theme on, either. This is intended to make one-handed use easier and works really well for the Galaxy S series. I wasn't quite as taken with this approach for the Note 20. This is a phablet with a built-in stylus. It's meant to be used two-handed. It would have been nice to see some specific tweaks to the UI specifically for the Note's many use cases. Samsung is also fairly heavy-handed in pushing its own ecosystem with its own apps and services. If that's not your thing, you can replace almost all of this with Google Apps if you wish. Extra features like the swipe-up Samsung Pay card and the Samsung Daily Feed can also be deactivated. That's not true for Bixby, but Samsung's oft-maligned assistant keeps to itself these days unless you go out of your way to use it. Plus, Bixby routines are actually kind of useful. Give Bixby some love, it needs it. Samsung's growing relationship with Microsoft is also evident when using the Note 20, though once again you're not forced into anything. This manifests as a link to Windows option in the settings and is basically the Your Phone app but directly integrated into the device. If activated, the feature lets you share SMS messages and photos with a PC or laptop and see notifications on your desktop. You can also mirror your entire phone screen so long as you're on the same Wi-Fi connection on both devices. While it's nowhere near on the same level of integration as continuity for iPhones and Macs, it's a neat optional bonus for Windows users. Not a Windows user but still want a PC experience? You're in luck because DeX is back and this time it's gone wireless. Sort of. The desktop-style interface is now compatible with TVs that support Android screen mirroring. If that sounds like vague criteria, that's because it is. Samsung recommends a 2019 or later Samsung TV, because of course it does, and sadly I don't have one of those to test it out. It still works just fine via USB-C to HDMI on PC*S/Macs if you have a suitable cable. Before we move on from software, it'd be remiss of me to not mention Samsung's welcome promise of 3 years of Android upgrades and security patches. That means the Note 20 should be supported all the way through to Android 13. Good stuff, Samsung S Pen. Bonus points. 105.08 by 5.8 by 4.35 millimeters. 3.04 grams. Bluetooth enabled. 26ms latency. You can't talk about a Galaxy Note phone and not discuss the S Pen. The Note series' iconic stylus doesn't get as much love for the Note 20 compared to its Ultra compatriot. Instead of the latter's frankly crazy 9ms of latency, the vanilla Note 20 is rated as 26ms. That's still barely shy of the Apple Pencil and Surface Pen and a big improvement over the Note 10 series 45ms. In practice, the S Pen felt extremely responsive. The S Pen feature set has also been expanded. There are new air actions for taking screenshots, launching the camera, and generally navigating around the phone. I used them once to test them out and promptly forgot all the commands. Samsung Notes received some love too. I especially liked the new folder paths, as you can now organize your scribbles into subfolders rather than dump them all in one place. You can also sync them across other Samsung devices. In brief, the S Pen is better than ever and still the value-defining feature. Samsung Galaxy Note 20, 4G only, Exynos, 8GB/256GB, €849/959. Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G, Snapdragon, 8GB/128GB, $999. Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G, Exynos, 8GB/256GB, €949/1059. Let's not sugarcoat things, the Galaxy Note 20 is overpriced. The Galaxy Note 20 5G starts at $999 in the US, £949 in the UK, and €1,059 across Europe. Considering all of the downgrades from the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and the laundry list of absent flagship tier features, those prices are extremely hard to stomach. The model I tested was the 4G only model, which is only available in select markets, not including North America. This variant goes for €849/959, which is slightly more palatable if you're not interested in future-proofing your phone with 5G data speeds. I'm not sure you should have to force yourself to make that additional compromise, but it's for those that can buy it. Unless you really, desperately need the S Pen, there's very little reason to buy the Galaxy Note 20 over one of the Galaxy S20 models. All three have dropped in price significantly since launch, and the Galaxy S20 Plus can be had for under $800 on sale. If you want the full-fat version with that 108MP camera, ludicrous specs, and monster battery life, the Galaxy S20 Ultra is going for $1,099 on Samsung's official store, just $100 more than the Note 20. Look further afield and the competition gets even hotter. The OnePlus 8 Pro won our mid-2020 Best of Android Editor's Choice Award for a reason. It may not have the very latest Qualcomm silicon, but the rest of the package represents peak flagship quality for just $899. Big phone fans may also be tempted by the LG V60, another Note 20 rival, for just $899. If you absolutely need the S Pen in your life, last year's Galaxy Note 10 Plus bests the Galaxy Note 20 in a frankly embarrassing number of categories. Faster charging, a higher resolution display, a better grade of Gorilla Glass on both sides no less, expandable storage, and more RAM as standard. It's still a great buy, as we found in our one-year review, and that'll only become more true as the price continues to fall. The elephant in the room is Samsung's history of aggressively discounting its phones. The Note 20 has recently dropped to under the $900 mark in various promotions, which is much closer to where it should be. However, while the MSRP is still set at $999, and while that's the case, the Note 20 represents poor value for the money. Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review: should you buy it? The Galaxy Note 20 is not a bad phone. Samsung doesn't make those, especially in the flagship space. but it does lack almost all of the wow factor features you might expect from a premium phone in 2020. Taking the inexplicably high price aside, the Galaxy Note 20 is an exercise in playing things safe to a fault. Perhaps imagined as the low-key counterpart to the Note 20 Ultra, a phone we already deemed to be a little uninspiring. Instead, you're just left wondering what on earth happened during the decision-making process to result in such an underbaked final product. The glass sandwich blueprint of smartphone design is well overdue a rethink, but the solution isn't swapping out glass for plastic. Samsung itself has set the industry baseline for high refresh rate displays with the S20 series, yet the Note 20 is locked at 60Hz in 1080p. Things get even worse for buyers outside of North America. The Exynos SoC is competent, but you're still getting an inferior version of an already subpar value proposition. As the biggest smartphone market in the world, it's really no surprise that Samsung releases a ton of phones each year. What is surprising is the sheer number of premium phones on offer from the South Korean giant in 2020. 3 Galaxy S20 models, 2 Galaxy Z Flips, 1 Galaxy Z Fold 2, and 2 Galaxy Note 20 devices. That's a lot of hardware for a calendar year. It's hard to shake the feeling that something has to give, and it appears Samsung may be thinking the same thing if the rumors about the Galaxy S30 possibly having an S Pen are to be believed. For 2 generations Samsung has produced a true Galaxy Note phone intended for power users in the Galaxy Note 10 Plus and more recently the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Meanwhile, the last 2 entities in the vanilla Note line have muddied the legacy of the Note name beyond recognition. The sad part is it didn't have to be this way. If Samsung rebranded this phone to something like the Galaxy Note 20 Lite and dropped the price below, at the very least, $800, then all of the trade-offs would suddenly become tolerable and the high points, the strong all-round camera performance, solid battery life, the vibrant display, the S Pen, would heavily outweigh the negatives. But it isn't, and they don't apostrophe T. If the Galaxy Note 20 does prove to be the last of its name, Samsung will only have had itself to blame. That's it for our Samsung Galaxy Note 20 review. What do you make of the standard Note 20 device? Let us know in the comments. So friends, this is the whole story of Samsung Galaxy S20. Expected. If you like this video, then friends, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Like and share the video. We will continue to bring you such exciting videos every day. Thank you.